Well, very happy to be back, first of all, and since we're here at the booth, I'm most excited about to hear what all the attendees have to say about the talks they see, and been a lot about AI and how to make sense of it, and so it's interesting to see what's relevant for them and how it impacts them. So that's exciting to hear, kind of like a filter, because I don't get a chance to see the talks myself, to hear what they have to say. Yeah, I think AI delivers a lot of value first in building platforms, so it makes it easier to actually create the platform itself. It's declarative, so large language models have an easy time generating code also for building platforms. But it also helps for operating platforms, and so if you build in AI models, LLMs, into your platform strategy, it can be very useful for the users to work within your platform. The biggest, I think, features or capabilities are providing relevant information in the right context, so filtering and making sure that you deliver the context information that is needed for troubleshooting or changing configurations, and for that the agent or the LLM needs to have the right context information. The second is providing access, so building a governance layer so that teams and agents can actually work within the policies and environments that they can work in, and it doesn't matter if it's humans or agents, and that's relevant. And the more agents you have, the more builders you have out there, obviously it becomes even more important that a platform kind of sits in the middle to be the governance layer or agent that makes sure that it's only access the information and the resources that you want it to. Yeah, how do you prevent brittle automation spaghetti? That's a very good example of what governance means. So one thing is access, so only access to the resources that you wanted to have access to, and the second is define policies and guardrails. And these guardrails, for instance, what are the tools that you want to apply? What are some of the policies you want to follow? So you define that via a repository or a skill set, and that needs to be applied. And that's a useful way of making sure that it doesn't only reach the target and it accomplishes what it's supposed to do, but it follows the standards and guidelines that you actually want it to. So that, you can standardize and you don't have that spaghetti code or spaghetti or the library of configurations that you don't want. Yeah, so I mean, in our case, obviously you want to get information out of Kubernetes clusters that are relevant for troubleshooting or configuring resources and deployments. And so that's what, in our case, an operator does, and to make sure that the information is in real time, is accurate, and it's in the right context. And so again, it's about context, and obviously you also want to make sure that the efficiency of the models is maximized and your token usage doesn't go through the roof. And so making sure that you compress the data, make sure that you don't have to read a documentation or a guideline every time, the agent that is. So that's important, and that makes it valuable data for the platform then. Yeah, I think the roles are changing for everybody pretty much, because you maybe don't write the code anymore, but you still define first of all, your intent, you supervise, also maybe your testing changes, but in the end you set milestones, you set the guardrails, and you kind of architect. You're more of a solution architect that directs agents to perform tasks, and I think that's, I've had a lot of interesting conversations about that. You need experience for that. So you might not need the knowledge to write a manifest anymore and write YAML code, but you need the experience on how to build a system and test it and make sure it scales.